What's going on, guys, and welcome to the video. Tonight is Spin Master Monster Jam Collection video night. It's Thursday, January 15th, so we'll go ahead and start the video with Gears Blue Thunder. Now this thing. Golden chassis wheels with white roll cage and tires with golden beacon to printing with Gear Monster Trads. Moving on to Ice Grave Digger. Now this thing. Blue chassis wheels with white roll cage with clear blue tires, white beacon to printing with Ice Monster Trads. Moving on to Zombie Megalodon. Now this thing. Black chassis with red roll cage with green wheels, black beacon to printing with Zombie Glitter Trads. Moving on to Galaxy's Monster Mud Dalmatian. Now this thing. Cyan chassis, beacon to printing and bead locks with black roll cage and wheels with Galaxy Glitter Trads. Moving on to Fire Son of a Digger. Now this thing. Orange chassis and wheels with yellow roll cage with strong orange tires with orange beacon to printing with Fire Monster Trads. Moving on to Hunter Max D. Now this thing. Gray chassis with brown roll cage, mahogany wheels, chrome beacon to printing with Hunter Glitter Trads. Moving on to Gear Zombie. Everything looks the same as Blue Thunder. Moving on to Ice Dragon. Everything looks the same as Grave Digger. Moving on to Zombie El Toro Loco. Now this thing. Black chassis with yellow roll cage with red wheels, black beacon to printing with Zombie Glitter Trads. Moving on to Galaxy's Bakugan Dragonord. Everything looks the same as the Dalmatian. Moving on to Fire Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Doesn't have... Everything looks the same except the Mohawk. And Son of a Digger. Moving on to Hunter Earthshaker. Now this thing. Gray chassis with black roll cage, mahogany wheels, chrome beacon to printing with Hunter Glitter Trads. Moving on to the Neo Galaxy Grave Digger. Now this thing. White chassis with light purple roll cage, pink wheels, teal tires with white beacon to printing. Moving on to the Nitro Gravedigger. Now this thing, pink chassis with black roll cage and tires with purple beacon printing and bead locks with teal wheels. Moving on to Beakety Customs Gravedigger. Now this thing, silver chassis with green roll cage with dark green wheels, Beakety printed tires. Moving on to Beakety Customs Gravedigger Orange. Now this thing, silver chassis with orange roll cage and wheels, Beakety printed tires. Moving on to Beakety Customs Gravedigger Red. Now this thing, silver chassis with red roll cage and wheels, Beakety printed tires. Moving on to Beakety Customs Gravedigger Purple. Now this thing, silver chassis with purple roll cage with blue wheels, Beakety printed tires. Moving on to Beakety Customs Gravedigger the Legend. Now this thing, black chassis with yellow roll cage, silver wheels, Beakety printed tires. Moving on to Beakety Customs Son of a Digger. Now this thing, silver chassis wheels with blue roll cage, purple bead locks, Beakety printed tires. Moving on to Beakety Customs, the 30th Anniversary Gravedigger. Now this thing, chrome chassis with lime green roll cage, farm green wheels, Beakety printed tires. Moving on to Beakety Customs, the 40th Anniversary Gravedigger. Now this thing, for chrome chassis with black roll cage, teal wheels, Beakety printed tires. Moving on to Beakety Customs, Bad News Travels Fast. Now this thing, orange chassis and bead locks with black roll cage, silver wheels, Beakety printed tires. Moving on to Beakety Customs Aftershock. Now this thing, yellow chassis and wheels with blue roll cage with Beakety printed tires. Moving on to Beakety Customs Slinger. Now this thing, red chassis with red, white roll cage and wheels, Biggity Printed tires. Moving on to Biggity Customs Wild Side. Now this thing, Dark Poison chassis and wheels with silver roll cage, Biggity Printed tires. Moving on to Biggity Customs Zombie. Now this thing, maroon chassis with white roll cage and wheels, Biggity Printed tires. Moving on to Biggity Customs Big Kahuna. Now this thing, black chassis with light blue roll cage, silver wheels, Biggity Printed tires. Moving on to Biggity Customs Iron Outlaw. Now this thing, iron red chassis and wheels with silver roll cage, Biggity Printed tires. Moving on to Biggity Customs Kraken. Now this thing, copper chassis with iron roll cage, pink wheels, Biggity Printed tires. Moving on to Biggity Customs Avenger. Now this thing, silver chassis with lime green roll cage and wheels, Biggity Printed tires. Moving on to Biggity Customs El Toro Loco. Now this thing, silver chassis with black roll cage, orange wheels, Biggity Printed tires. Moving on to Biggity Customs Velociraptor. Now this thing, silver chassis with mahogany roll cage, black wheels, Biggity Printed tires. Moving on to Biggity Customs Jurassic Attack. Now this thing, silver chassis with purple roll cage and wheels, Biggity Printed tires. Moving on to Biggity Customs Northern Nightmare. Now this thing, black chassis with red roll cage, silver wheels, Biggity Printed tires. Moving on to Biggity Customs Blue Thunder. Now this thing, black chassis with blue roll cage, silver wheels, Biggity Printed tires. Moving on to Biggity Customs Max D. Now this thing, silver chassis with yellow roll cage, black wheels, Biggity Printed tires. Moving on to BKT Customs Calavera. Now this thing, silver chassis with pink roll cage, black wheels, BKT with the tires. Moving on to BKT Customs, BKT Growing Together. Now this thing, silver chassis with green roll cage with dark green wheels, BKT with the tires. Moving on to BKT Customs Wolf's Head. Now this thing, silver chassis with brown roll cage, black wheels, BKT with the tires. Moving on to BKT Customs Black Pearl. Now this thing, silver chassis with golden roll cage and wheels, BKT with the tires. Moving on to BKT Customs Soldier Fortune. Now this thing, silver chassis with army green roll cage and wheels, BKT with the tires. Moving on to BKT Customs Black Ops Soldier Fortune. Now this thing, black chassis with silver roll cage and wheels, BKT with the tires. Moving on to BKT Customs Overboard. Now this thing, black chassis with iron roll cage, aqua wheels, BKT with the tires. Moving on to BKT Customs Time Flies. Now this thing, silver chassis and roll cage with black wheels, BKT with the tires. Moving on to BKT Customs Lucas Stabilizer. Now this thing, silver chassis and roll cage, black chassis and roll cage with silver wheels, BKT with the tires. Moving on to BKT Customs Scooby-Doo. Now this thing, silver chassis with golden roll cage, black wheels, BKT with the tires. Moving on to BKT Customs Megalodon. Now this thing, silver chassis and roll cage with black wheels, BKT with the tires. Moving on to BKT Customs, the Collection of Champions King Sling. Now this thing, silver chassis and wheels with green roll cage with black muffler, BKT with the tires. Moving on to BKT Customs, the Collection of Champions Bog Hog. Now this thing. Silver chassis with black roll cage, orange wheels and shocks with chrome muffler because for the tires. Moving on to BKT Customs, the Collection of Champions Son of a Digger. Now this thing. Silver chassis with dark blue roll cage, purple wheels with chrome muffler because for the tires. Moving on to BKT Customs, the Collection of Champions Jester. Now this thing. Silver chassis wheels with red roll cage with chrome muffler because for the tires. Moving on to BKT Customs, the Collection of Champions Earthshaker. Now this thing. Yellow chassis and wheels with gray roll cage with light gray muffler because for the tires. Moving on to BKT Customs, the Collection of Champions BKT Grown Together. Now this thing. Silver chassis with black roll cage, dark green wheels with chrome muffler because for the tires. Moving on to Custom Gravedigger Ride Truck. Now this thing. Green chassis with green chassis, silver wheels, flotation tires. Moving on to Gravedigger 7. Now this thing. Silver chassis wheels with lime green roll cage flotation tires. Moving on to the Green Ghost Gravedigger. Now this thing. Silver chassis wheels with light lime green roll cage flotation tires. Moving on to the green Nitro Neon Gravedigger. Everything looks the same. It's all green except the wheels are white. Moving on to the blue Nitro Neon Son of a Digger. Everything is all blue except the wheels are white. Moving on to the yellow Nitro Neon Earthshaker. Everything is all yellow except the wheels are white. Moving on to the pink Nitro Neon Calavera. Everything is all pink except the roll cage is all black. Moving on to the teal Nitro Neon Blue Thunder. Now this thing. Teal chassis and wheels with brown roll cage and tires. Moving on to the red Nitro Neon Northern Nightmare. Now this thing. Black chassis with red roll cage and tires with silver wheels. Moving on to the light blue, Nitro Neon Bad News Travels Fast. Now this thing, light blue chassis and tires with yellow roll cage with black wheels. Moving on to custom Nitro Neon Thunder Roar S. Now this thing, iron red chassis with silver roll cage and wheels with yellow tires. Moving on to the green Nitro Neon Max T. Now this thing, silver chassis with green roll cage and tires with black wheels. Moving on to the yellow Nitro Neon Max T. Now this thing, silver chassis with yellow roll cage and tires with black wheels. Moving on to custom Elementals Trucks Gravedigger. Now this thing, purple chassis with black roll cage with green and yellow wheels on the left and orange and red wheels on the right with blue tires. Moving on, last but not least, to custom phased out Son of a Digger. Now this thing, white chassis with black roll cage with 2 red wheels, 1 black wheel, and 1 white wheel with 2 white tires and 2 black tires. And that'll be it. Make sure you like, subscribe, or also you're turning the notifications to my YouTube page. Parker Wilson's Blinking as Amigos. Have fun.